What's up, guys? Good morning. Welcome back to the vlog. I'm up here in Jamestown, Colorado. It's about an hour north, like up west in the hills above Boulder. Gonna stop and get some water and just continue on. I'm doing about a 3 or 4 hour ride today with some climbing. It's my last full day in Boulder. Headed to Denver tomorrow. And my brother's been in town the last couple days, so just been hanging out with him and getting some work done, TFF business stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a good day. It's a beautiful day, although it's looking a little bit cloudy, a little menacing, but we'll make it through. That doesn't look good. This is where I went to undergrad. It's a pretty epic place. University of Colorado, Boulder. Finish up the ride with a pretty hard Flagstaff effort. Not really because I was particularly going super hard, but just because mentally I was struggling. And that's something important to mention, is that, you know, cycling and many other sports are, I'd argue, predominantly mental, more than physical even, just because it requires so much, you know, mental fortitude to get through this pain and get through the training and the racing and just the hard times. And I think that can be applied to other things as well. School, business. I think hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, as they say. And I've just seen that time and again. And you know, when I got to the first summit of Flagstaff, I was like, I'm just gonna turn around, go back. But I knew that that was just a mental thing. I've done this climb a million times. I can do it even after a really hard ride like I've done today. And so I just kept pushing through, and that's important to do in training because, you know, when I'm in the Alps, I'm gonna have really hard days and mental times like that and struggles. And if you don't prepare for that in training, you're not gonna be able to get through it. So just remember that, and remember that even if you're not the strongest or, you know, the most gifted athlete or student or entrepreneur or whatever it is, if you work hard and develop the mental strength and capacity to, you know, get over the hard times even when it seems like all else is lost, you're gonna do amazing in life. All right, I'm back from the ride, really solid, pretty tired, and I'm just gonna show you a little bit of my post-ride recovery smoothie. I've shown this like a billion times in the vlog, but I thought it'd be actually a kind of a cool little time to do a little bit of science. Science.
Science.
Science.
Science.
Science. Okay, so here's the ingredients: spinach, ground flax, bananas, frozen berries, dates, hemp seeds, and water. But the secret ingredient and the secret weapon for the plant-based athlete is molasses, and let me tell you a little bit why. So as many of you guys probably know, athletes need a really solid amount of iron and calcium in their diets, especially plant-based athletes, because plant-based iron sources are less easily absorbed into the body. That doesn't mean they're worse than animal-based sources. I know I've talked about this before, but basically animal-based sources of iron contain heme iron, which is just a little bit more easily taken up by the body and absorbed, which actually can be a bad thing because it just can cause a huge influx of iron coming to the body, which can increase your toxicity, prevalence, and can lead to oxidative damage, because iron is actually a pro-oxidant. So non-heme iron, which is found in plant foods, is a little bit less absorbed. So plant-based people need to eat I think it's maybe 20% higher iron levels than the standard person eating a standard American diet. But there's not necessarily higher rates of iron deficiency in people that are vegan compared to people that are omnivorous. Go listen to our What's the Deal with Iron podcast to learn everything you need to know about iron. But basically what I'm getting at is that molasses is this awesome food that is just super nutrient dense and is like the secret weapon for athletes, because basically what this is when you make sugar and you take sugar cane and kind of refine it down, strip out the sugar, this is everything that's left over. And it's still really sweet. It has a very pungent and intense flavor, sort of an acquired taste, molasses is. But what's awesome is, so I don't know if you can see, but there is 20% of your daily recommended intake of iron and 10% of your recommended intake of calcium, vitamin B6, magnesium, zinc, all super important minerals and vitamins for athletes. And the reason being is that iron is a critical component of hemoglobin, which is a molecule within the body, within the blood, that transports oxygen to the muscles. Obviously you need a lot of oxygen when you're climbing up a mountain at full gas and you're breathing super hard, your heart rate is super high, you're pumping a lot of blood throughout the body. And calcium is a super important mineral as well. Sorry, there was just a giant thunderstorm. I guess I got back just in time from the ride. But anyway, calcium is also a super important nutrient because, calcium is an electrolyte, and a lot of athletes lose calcium through sweat when they're, riding or running or whatever it is. And calcium is also important for bone health, obviously. But a little known fact about calcium is that it's also super important for muscle contraction, and basically the pathway to get ATP to help contract muscles requires the use of calcium. So molasses is awesome way to get all of these things, and so I recommend that athletes eat at least like a tablespoon of molasses every day. I put it in my oatmeal, I'm gonna put it in my smoothie. And obviously it tastes pretty intense and not everyone likes that, so you can also just take a swig of it and suck it down and suffer it, or mix it in with a smoothie. You can't really even taste it, but that's sort of my tip for the day. Go eat some frickin' molasses. And then of course they do a lot of education, which is kind of like my passion, you know, which is why I'm doing Thought for Food, is I'm really interested in and excited about education. So before I close it down for today's video, I just want to remind you to go listen to the latest podcast out today, where I kind of run through the trip in a lot more detail, the Vegan Athletic upcoming trip where I'm raising money for Mercy for Animals and awareness for vegan athletics and the plant-based lifestyle, and what's happening in factory farms, etc. With my two friends Ian and Griff. We're heading off in about a month to do that. So go listen to the new podcast. It's awesome. It just gives you kind of a more in-depth look into sort of what we're trying to do. And so I'd really appreciate it if you go listen to the podcast, go subscribe, and be sure to keep up to date with what's going on. I also just want to show you our team page on Mercy for Animals. It's donate.mercyforanimals.org/vegan-athletic. Just to kind of show you what's going on. We have a little story page, different kind of some more information about it, and it has, you know, all of the donations. We've already raised $252. That is amazing. Thank you to Alan for donating $45. That's amazing. And my friend and overall badass human being, amazing person, Liz Specht from the Good Food Institute. She's been on the podcast, donated $200. Look at that. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Liz. You're amazing. Plenty of time left to make a difference for farmed animals, so go check out our donate page, make a donation, and it all goes to Mercy for Animals. So super excited about it. Can't wait to get kicked off with the trip. I'll talk to you guys soon. Go eat some plants and do some epic shit.